We start the episode with an old gentleman visiting an oracle by the name of Zana. He enters her little mystery place and requests to make contact with his long-lost wife. Zana then takes a sizable amount of cash for him and tries to make contact. The table between them levitates, and the rest of the furniture shakes, as Zana appears to be possessed with the man's wife's spirit and starts talking to him about being lonely and cold. The man laughs at the unbelievable display and points out how he can see that she is using a wind machine and a lever under the table to create the illusion of magic and spirits. Zana is offended at his remarks and tells him there will be no refunds for non-believers. Suddenly, a man comes out of the shadows and tells the gentleman that he is going to take him to his wife before teleporting together and leaving his cane behind. Meanwhile, back at the Young Justice Cave, Aqualad and Superboy are training together and sparring, while Miss Martian and Artemis are gossiping about boys and who should date who in the team. Superboy wins the sparring match right before Red Tornado joins them to brief them about the missing gentleman we have seen earlier. He reveals the guy's secret sorcerer identity as Dr. Fate. He gives the kids the key to the Tower of Fate and asks them to investigate the case. The team arrives at the Tower of Fate, and they land their stealthy jet to start the investigation. Meanwhile, Dr. Fate is being tortured inside by two unnamed crooks looking to gain access to the Tower of Fate. One of the crooks has a cat that looks suspicious and proves it by meowing to its owner about the arrival of the Young Justice team. Cats be spying for real, man. Anyway, the Young Justice team investigates the place and finds absolutely nothing, so they think there is some magic at play here masking the true location. The two crooks watch the team and make fun of them. Aqualad then takes the key that Red Tornado gave them and he inserts it into a keyhole that is invisible. As soon as he opens the door, the Tower of Fate appears instantly in front of them like it was always there. A hologram of Dr. Fate appears in front of them and asks them about their purpose. Kid Flash says they are looking for Dr. Fate, and suddenly the ground crumbles underneath their feet and throws them into a pit of lava. The team barely manages to hold on to something and avoid instant death. Right behind the team, Abracadabra, one of the two crooks, and the other force Dr. Fate to take them through the Tower of Fate. Miss Martian manages to outsmart the mechanism of the tower and get the floors to reactivate, preventing them from falling further into the lava pit. Artemis then scolds Kid Flash about his stupidity in answering the hologram's question incorrectly and lying. They argue with him about his lack of belief in magic and taunt him a bit before moving on into a weird ice world that appeared instead of the lava pit. They find the magical cane from earlier in the episode, and both Artemis and Kid Flash touch it, and it teleports them instantly. Meanwhile, the rest of the team continue their journey in the middle of the icy dimension and find a door that opens to them in the middle of nowhere. They go through it. Artemis and Kid Flash then appear at the same place where Dr. Fate is being bullied by the two other magical crooks. The cane immediately powers Dr. Fate again, and he snatches it and takes the two kids away before the crooks even have time to register what happened. They have a private talk in a magical elevator, and Dr. Fate does not correct Kid Flash about Abracadabra being a faker and using technology to simulate magic, but he thinks the other guy is the actual Lord of Chaos. Suddenly, the rest of the team are thrown to the location of Dr. Fate. Abracadabra and the Lord of Chaos also ambush them. Dr. Fate gets hit by Lord of Chaos before he could reach the helmet. His last words are an encouragement for Kid Flash to have faith and do what is necessary. Kid Flash is not keen at first, but he soon puts the Dr. Fate helmet on to face the Lord of Chaos. Kid Flash meets Dr. Fate's soul inside the helmet, and he tells him a little about how the helmet operates and how his soul is not controlling his body at the moment. All that Kid Flash can do is watch his body take on the Lord of Chaos and hope Fate is able to take him down and not be defeated. Fate manages to defeat the Lord of Chaos after a hard battle, and he takes down Abracadabra as well. Kid Flash is happy, but is confused why Fate is not taking off the helmet. Fate then tells them that Earth needs Dr. Fate and he will not give up the body for now. The old gentleman strikes a deal with Fate to allow Kid Flash back to his body while he keeps him company. The Young Justice team takes the helmet to the base, awaiting the right candidate to take the mantle of Dr. Fate. The next episode starts immediately with the Young Justice team absolutely battered and defeated. The reason for their current fate? Goddamn Clayface. He beats the shit out of Aqualad and prepares to give him the final blow, right before Batman swoops in and attacks him. Batman instantly manages to put him down in a matter of seconds. Suddenly, the environment changes, and it is revealed that this has all been just a training session. Batman tells everyone to hit the showers while he has a talk with Aqualad about his performance. Aqualad confesses that his head is not in the game, and he couldn't lead the team properly, and Batman basically tells him to get his shit together or walk away. Aqualad then takes the time to go back to Atlantis and meets with none other than Aquaman. Aquaman invites him to a special dinner they are hosting tonight, and allows Aqualad to bring someone special with him. Aqualad then meets with a couple of his friends. One of them shows him a retelling of the Aqualad origin story, before directing him to that special someone. He meets with the Queen, and then invites a girl named Tula to dinner. She excuses herself, but promises to meet him tonight. But the guy she was sparring with before Aqualad shows up tells her privately that she needs to confess something. Meanwhile, Atlantis' military discovered a frozen creature that is still somehow alive. Back at the Young Justice Cave, Miss Martian tries to bond with Superboy, but her clumsiness ends up with Superboy drenched in her milk. She tries to make things right, but things get awkward between them for a moment. Obviously, has nothing to do with the milk. Anyway, a couple of intruders led by Black Manta are on a mission to infiltrate Atlantis. They kill a couple of guards and move on. Robin, on the other hand, is still furious that Batman left him out of the conversation with Aqualad. Batman recognizes this and invites to a friendly game of basketball to ease his mind. At the dinner, Aqualad tries to bond with Tula once again by flirting. Aquaman and Mera then announce that they would be having a child, and everyone celebrates the news. Superman interrupts the festivity to inform Aquaman that he needs his help on a mission. Aquaman accepts and asks Aqualad to swim with him for a while before he leaves. Aquaman basically tells him that he understands the dilemma of living on the surface and loving underwater, but he is confident he will make the right choice. Aqualad then returns to Tula, and Tula tells him about her relationship with Garth, the guy she was sparring with. Aqualad doesn't even have enough time to be sad about the revelation, because the Black Manta Squad blew up a lot of buildings in Atlantis at the same time. Aqualad and Tula help the Atlantis army and attack the Black Manta Squad. Tula gets shot by one of the mercenaries, and she tries to save Garth from harm. This infuriates Mera, and she goes sicko mode on the Black Manta goons. They figure out that this was a diversion from where the Black Manta is, and he is trying to steal the frozen creature from earlier. Aqualad takes the responsibility of going after him, and Garth joins him in spite of that. They disguise themselves and attack Black Manta, but he immediately catches on. They manage to stall him long enough, however, that he chose to blow up the creature instead of leaving it behind and failing the mission. In the aftermath, they manage to recover a small piece of the monster, but it is already regenerating, and Aquaman tells Aqualad to take it with him to the surface. I was really pleased with the appearance of Dr. Fate. His episode was really good, but I felt they left a lot on the table for the future, so up to par with the previous episodes except for the first two anyway. The second episode was more of the same except really underwhelming, but this could be me since I was never interested in Aquaman or Atlantis in the first place anyway. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me, what do you think of these two episodes? Who do you think is going to be the next Dr. Fate? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.